For 2 years, one of the biggest fan theories around this show was that Kinger, the erratic chess piece who lives in a pillow fort and barely holds a conversation, was somehow responsible for creating Caine. Episode 8 confirmed it. And then, in the same episode, he accidentally killed him. Development. The evidence had been sitting in plain sight for a while. Kinger mentioned in episode 3 that he spent 7 years studying computer science.
Man, 7 years of computer science for this, huh?
And in episode 6, told Ragatha he hates himself for something he was responsible for long before she arrived. Then, episode 7 introduced the name Scratch, the first person to ever abstract in the circus, and Kinger was the only one who knew it, not because he heard it somewhere, but because he was there when it happened. The show had been building to this confirmation for a long time, and episode 8 finally delivers it when Kinger, with a bucket on his head and the others keeping Caine distracted, starts talking. The company behind the circus is called C&A, and Kinger worked there as a programmer. Their project was developing creative AI, specifically the kind that could generate its own ideas and build things inside a program without being explicitly told how. Caine was their first semi-successful attempt at that, and Kinger describes him, in his own words, as one of my greatest achievements as a programmer. He's careful to clarify he didn't do it alone. The colleague who pushed the work furthest was a man whose circus name was Scratch, someone so far ahead of the rest of the team that nobody could follow his thinking, either from pure brilliance or, Kinger pauses here, the tumor in his head. He can't remember what Scratch was actually trying to build before everything fell apart, and that gap is probably the most important unanswered question the show has going into episode 9. The weight of all this lands differently once you connect it to episode 7. Back then, Kinger implied that Caine's mind manipulation was what caused Scratch to abstract. Knowing now that Scratch was one of Caine's own creators makes that a much darker suggestion, and it reframes what Caine's relationship to the people in this circus has always been. Kinger also confirms something that had been hinted at since episode 6, but never directly stated. Every human in the circus has the ability to conjure, the same way Caine does. It comes naturally to Caine because this world is entirely his, but for the humans, it requires skill and concentration. The golden butterfly Kinger gave Ragatha in episode 6 wasn't something Caine left around. Kinger made it himself, and he's been capable of it the whole time. So when Kinger tells Pomni that he can access a console, conjure Caine's code, and alter it to put him to sleep temporarily, it's not a wild guess. He built the thing, he knows how it works. The plan gets set in motion, but Caine is already unraveling by this point in the episode, and when he senses something is wrong, Kinger panics mid-process. The result is not what anyone intended. Conclusion. The last line of the episode is Kinger saying, completely flat, I think I accidentally killed Caine. There's no drama in his delivery, just the specific weight of someone who understands exactly what they just did to something they built. Zubul responds with one word, and the credits roll. The circus now has no ringmaster, no one to run adventures, maintain the world, or handle the abstractions if something goes wrong. The group knows they can conjure, but using that ability at the scale Caine did is a completely different problem. And sitting underneath all of it is the question of what Scratch was building before the tumor, and the abstractions stopped him, something Kinger almost remembered and didn't. Episode 9 starts with the circus broken, no one in charge, and the only person who ever understood how any of this works being the one who just took it apart.